Odiaba los mediodías, el sol engañándote a pensar que durara para siempre con su calor. Pero un día, no recuerdo cuándo, nos conocimos. Y desde hace 3 temporadas nos vemos todos los martes a la 1. Nos conocimos en la esquina bueno, no exactamente en la esquina, pero cerca. Algunas veces nos mirábamos uno al otro sin hablar, pues solamente con una sonrisa de satisfacción. En mi mente lo llamaba Sebastián y hablábamos por horas, de nada y de todo, pero nunca hablamos de amor. Pero nunca hablamos de amor.
Timecode. Independent film. Originality. Fresh. 35mm. Video. You ain't no styline. Urban man. Crescent City. 8mm. Feel me. Independent. New Orleans. Style. 16mm. Video.
There was really kind of a lack of a band, a big band, a local band that you wanted to open for. Like, oh, I wish we could open for, this band. It was more a lack of that.
I had no idea of this. He's shooting shooting speed with his girlfriend, and they're financing our recording by selling speed. And I'm not understanding why or how I got involved in this.
Like Dr. Lala and Dang Brawa and Fiddlehead and a lot of the members from those bands went on to do bands that are around today, like Hostile Apostles, Suplecs, Spickle. It's just been really cool. Hogjaw is another band.
the gigs would get very physical, and you would dance with people, and it would get very physical, and you'd be rolling around on the floor and all this, like, you know, green and brown glass from all the beer bottles.
And there was even a young woman who tried to ride in one of the dryers, only she had her purse in there with her, and all the contents came out, and she was screaming as the makeup and pins and mirrors and stuff are flying around and hitting her.
We're supposed to play a show, but they have to go to freaking charity because they've shot a non-water soluble chemical into their veins, and they're having some kind of reaction, and there's bubbles under their skin.
And, what do you call it? What do you call it? What do you call it? What do you call it?
They murder music. They won't let new people have a chance to make their mark. They want all the other people that been around, that died or about to die, now they're making them famous for their type of music.
The best thing about it was that all these bands playing together and playing with each other and getting better together. And I forget how I ended that, though.
It was just a bunch of cool bands.
Oh, it was just cool bands getting together and nobody going any place.
I think it's just like, you know, it's like you try to do something you love, and it's like nobody appreciates you. You know, it's like you keep hitting a wall, the wall don't break. You know, it's like, you know what you're doing is good.
Hi, I'm Jody Smith, director of Unheard Of. It started mostly for me, I think, in the sort of early to mid '90s when I was going to see shows, and there was a specific scene that was happening around that time, where you know, there was sort of a different style of music being developed, where, you know, you've always had like the hardcore scene with a lot of bands like, you know, I Hate God and Soylent Green and a lot of those bands that have been around for some time. And then there's always been, like, I guess the more like straight up, more traditional rock scene, I guess you could call it. But then there was sort of a strange deviation from all of that, and a lot of really cool music was happening at the time. Well, it's, you know, it's called Unheard Of, and appropriately so, because I think the common thread with the music that is in it is more or less that the emphasis is on expression and rocking out, you know, and that to me is much more honest, and I think it's something that needs to be exposed and shown for what it is, because it's a pretty killer thing. The little preview there is just like a little 7-minute or so preview of it, showing all the bands that I have video of. What you don't see in the preview is the little sequences that I put together with just soundtrack material from other bands. The tail end of that preview also shows, it's got some little excerpts from the little interview segments that I have throughout the entire piece. There's just random street characters, and then some of those street characters as well are actually members that are in some of the bands that are featured. And a lot of it, you know, I would just go down the street just asking people, you know, whether or not they thought the city was cursed, or you know, how much they've been drinking lately, or did they drink, you know, more when they came here, assuming that they moved here. And when you ask questions like that, you get some pretty outrageous answers. People have asked me, you know, why I didn't cover some of those other bands, and it's like, you know, considering that I financed the thing and you know, produced it and had to try to put it together to try to make it like a Ken Burns special, where it's an all-inclusive historical account of every scene that's happened over the past, you know, 25, 30 years or something. That was, that didn't seem really feasible, really, because this already, just to do this project, it took me 2.5 years, and it's already 2 hours long. You could go to www.unheardofnola.com, and that, aside from a couple of different previews, you can see that on the website. You can also order the DVD. It also has audio from studio sessions that I've done, and video of my drumming and stuff like that.
freight train cracks the night. You awake and realize how long you've been waiting. Hours and days and years dripping away. So many hot shots blasting too quickly past. Until you wondered if one would ever allow you to hop on. As you approach, it pulses with energy. Miles of cars, hundreds of thousands of tons, snaking across the great northern High Line. The train is a monster, vicious with its movements, terrifying in its rumbles, craving to pull you under and chew at your guts. The train is a mother, cradling in metal arms, rocking with incessant rhythm, protecting so that nothing can hurt you. Leap before you look, or sense will never let you stop obeying gravity and grab onto this thing's hide. Inertia tries to drag you off, but once you catch up, everything shifts. The landscape becomes a perpetual canvas, unfurling the future as it erases your past. The sky expands, growing so vast that in the darkness, lightning storms battle over one shoulder, while the other horizon is described only by burning clutches of forest. Noises emerge, clacking of tireless wheels, groaning of stressed steel knuckles, squealing of rails beneath, swirling in the air until the cacophony becomes a symphony. The sounds conspire into hushed voices. Laughter, screams, and chants ricochet as whispered fragments between cars. And then, the despair of feeling the train stack up and slow to a grinding halt. Never sure how long you'll play hide-and-seek with the rail yard bulls before the euphoria of the train's jolting start. Slack snapping taut like falling dominoes with a steady build toward great speeds. Endless days and countless miles. Filthy, hungry, tired, and thirsty on a Burlington Northern. Between these iron rails, reality splinters. Rules disappear. Finally, everything falls away. And all that remains is pure velocity. If you make it without being destroyed, this is what you feel like in that moment. An unstoppable force.
Known for brutalizing black males. Government jobs include heroin and crack sales, recovering slaves. Still we try to stack mail, hustling tuition, even more. Hustle that bill, putting pistols up. No more swinging fisted cuffs, cornrow locked up, beeswax twisted up. Brothers lifting up, fingers for wars they living in. Targeted for Angola imprisonment. I don't be messing with the platinum chain and ring thing. Put the knowledge in things, third eye bling bling. Listen up, that's all we ask you to do. Might be labeled terrorist, cause the I spit true. New Orleans finest. In case you haven't heard, we put it down to make you bounce like Tucker and Herb. Advanced ideas, hip hop supreme. Live and direct from New Orleans. For the love above and beyond the norm. We New Orleans finest, minus blue uniform. The city that we living in. New Orleans, where we never giving in. New Orleans, where the politicians liars at. New Orleans, where the people took desire back. New Orleans, where state repression big at. New Orleans, where Mark Essex busting pigs at. New Orleans, Orleans. When we want that freedom and can't hold it in. New Orleans, 1811, we revolted in. New Orleans, still rhymes for the mentally and physically poor. Still truth universal out that 504. Still a natural disaster when it comes to the rhyme. Still dashiki dialoguing just to put it on your mind. We breaking chains, don't believe in stagnation. Third is our B-boys tagging on your plantation to get the freedom, inciting you to cock and peel. Take these turntables out to the cotton fields, cause in the South they thinking it's whack. But before DJ Duck acts, where my old lady had that lyrical knack. Now I'm spitting the facts, hooked up with he was spinning the wax. Bonafide great digger, known for digging in stacks. And if it be necessity, I'm down to pick up the and buck the powers all up in our face. And me and this city got a love-hate relationship. I represent though, do what I do and elevate my people mental. Advanced ideas, hip-hop supreme, live and direct from New Orleans. For the love above and beyond the norm, we New Orleans finest, minus blue uniforms. Truth universal, hip-hop supreme, live and direct from New Orleans. We hitting projects, apartments, houses, dorms. New Orleans finest, minus blue uniforms. The city that we living in, New Orleans, where we never giving in. New Orleans, where the politicians liars at. New Orleans, where the people took desire back. New Orleans, where state repression big at. New Orleans, where Marxist busted pigs at. New Orleans, where we want that freedom and can't hold it in. New Orleans, 1811 we revolted in. New Orleans.
New Orleans, jambalaya, Creole, red beans, hot sauce. We got the festivities, y'all know that jazz we are. Brought up right up in the hard Calio projects, be like Mardi Gras. Drugs, guns, and sex is how the violence starts. Bounce DJ setting up Super Sunday in the park. Some floss their walls and other players snort. Dope on the rope chain by the moonwalk. Just like the streetcar trains do, I ride tracks too. We'll see if you can hang in a swamp bathroom, no tissue. It's official, the finest. Go ahead, bow down now until you're honest. That's me, divine truth universally. Past the duchy, we be on some massive puffin'. Super don't mind it, where the boost that's found at. The foot of the United States maps and almanacs. Hood of the muddy face, cast the cops and scat. Where 90 degrees is longitude, 30 degrees flat.
From New Orleans.
I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and I moved to New Orleans when I was about 17. I've been here for like about 20, not 20, about 13 years, 13, 14 years. I grew up playing on Beale Street in Memphis, which is known for blues. And I played for Albert King, which is B.B. King's cousin. And he started getting sickly right before he passed away. And so all I had known was music. You know, some people go off to college. I play music, you know. So a lot of people like, man, you ought to go down to New Orleans. You ought to go down to New Orleans. They got a lot of music down there. And I said, okay. When I first moved down here, I played with the Little Rascals. I grew up playing with those cats until 97, 98. And then Phil asked me to come fill in because the saxophone part of the front row had disbanded. So he told me to come work for him until he found the replacement. And when I started playing for him, he said, don't leave until I tell you not to come back. Rebirth music, man, it's like, it's energetic, it's energizing. It's like no other form of music. People come from all around, and it makes people feel good. you know, you've had a hard day at work, hard day at school, you know, you could go home and turn on the radio and listen to the stations, play the same songs all day, all night, but you're not gonna get that feeling like that you get when you see Rebirth live. I have a lot of influence from Memphis. I grew up listening to Albert King, Al Green. When I was coming up, Stax was in South Memphis. I grew up playing in the church, so I bring a lot of a spiritual timbre to the band. Well, there are a lot of brass bands coming out. I hate to brag. Well, I'm not going to brag. A lot of bands try to imitate or emulate what the Rebirth is doing, which really I don't find them really going to be successful.
It's supposed to be the battle of the brass bands. But we know what the outcome of that is going to be.
Bands coming up now, they have no idea what this band is about. That's why Rebirth is number one.
I said I used to love her, but it's all over now. Ain't no one till I say it's over. But I said I used to love her, but it's all over now. Baby, don't leave me. Everybody, I love you. But I said I used to love her, but it's all over now.
You play for a band that maybe makes about $50, $60, $80, $90,000 a year, but let's say 30% of the gigs that you play are for free, are for schools, you know what I'm saying? Going around playing for free at the mayor's ball or something, you know what I'm saying? Something, you know, for free. They don't want to do it. Oh man, I'm not paying for. Yeah, I'll play for free. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, is that what it takes to make me number one? Yes, I'll do that. Because I'm going to get it back another kind of way. I keep that outsider perspective because I realize it didn't have to be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm easily replaceable. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that, I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize what I've earned. I feel like I've earned this spot, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to let nobody take that away from me.
Let me do my thing. Now will I grow to be a man? Now will I ever maintain sound from my brain? Will I grow to be a man? Now will I ever maintain sound from my brain? Now will I grow to be a man? Now will I ever maintain sound from my brain? Now will I grow to be a man? Now will I ever maintain sound from my brain? So won't you let me do my thing? Won't you let me do my thing?
I was supposed to be there, but the day before, you know, because that weekend before I told Phil, yeah, I'm gonna be there. The day before the Tipitina thing, my car broke.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was a sign or what have you. You know, I'm not superstitious, but I also felt like, you know, if I attended it by me not being a member at that time, for that period of time, it was almost like me saying farewell to my career. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, man, this is only the beginning.
Right.
So, you know, I'm glad I didn't attend, but I wish I could have been there. You know, but for me, you know, this isn't about 20 years. I want this to be a lifetime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sure, it's good to celebrate it, you know, but I want it to be a lifetime. Sure. Give for a time span. Give it a clap. Yeah, you know, hip hip hooray. But I mean, I want to be 56 years old and still rocking like I am now. You know what I'm saying? Those same fans. You know what I'm saying? Man, I've been watching you for 40 years. I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? You know that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that would have been a farewell.
My name is Charlie Brown. I'm head of production of Tipitina's films and director of An Elegy for James Durant. Well, this is a short film within a larger documentary on the Rebirth Brass Band. They called him Phat Nasty, and he was just really ebullient. The weird thing about the interview is we did about 15 minutes of just a straight interview, and he was very demure. He was very PBS Ken Burns, and then I said, okay, that's it. And he just kind of kept talking, and my cameraman, Alan Parks, just kept rolling. As we were doing the interview, he was telling me all the horrible jobs he had to take, such as working at Church's Fried Chicken and all these other things, and he decided no, music was really in his blood, and he wanted to return to the Rebirth. And then literally 2 weeks after that, he had played the weekly Maple Leaf gig, drove home, had way too much to drink, drove home and had a seizure in his car and died. What he brought to the band was something that hadn't been there really since Kermit Ruffins, this presence, a guy who could MC a show, who could really kind of take over a show. I haven't quite gotten far enough into the editing to do what I want to do, but I wanted to structure it as if it was a Rebirth concert. We're just starting editing. My dream is to have a completed project by Mardi Gras this year so that we can have some sort of debut, and then hopefully we'll sell it somewhere. Tipitina's Films is just starting to, basically what we're after is, first, it's basically three-tiered. First thing is capturing music at the club. Second thing is to do documentaries about local people. And third thing is the Tipitina's internship program through the new foundation. And what we're doing is we have high school musicians. We're training them in all facets of music production. So, you can go to www.tipitinas.com to see stuff from the club, and www.tipitinasfoundation.org to see what's going on with the Tipitina's internship program, plus the music co-op, which is just now open, that any musician in New Orleans can pay $10 and have access to the internet and all sorts of great things, plus some workshops that is going to enhance the music scene here in New Orleans, and that's also with the mayor's office and Scott Aegis. So it's a real, things are, Tipitina's has been a touchstone for so long on the local New Orleans music scene, and just now it's possibly the single most exciting thing since Professor Longhair got his first gig. Now it's really set to take the community with it and really lift it up, and I'm really, really excited about all that.
Folding niggas on the block is making paper. The game don't stop. You keep it hot and you know it. You moving things in the block, you about to blow it up. Now players make moves like UPS. FedEx a whole load of this shit, your house and sit it right on your step. See, we fall from small timers. My dog's known for grinding, transporting all shit. But it's Tijuana, who might be sounding now, baby boy. I'm not the boss, I'm just running with some goons, catching licks like Randy Moss. Fall short, now play. Look, never that. I come back like Jason Affolder, he's play. Without demands, I focus on the game like microscopes and petri dishes. Find the smallest flaw and dissect the sons of whether my dogs are chicken. You know me, no excuses. Keep acting up, player, and I'ma show you who the back, put your G down. Make these niggas respect you off top. Make these niggas realize that this game don't stop. The game don't stop. You keep it moving and percolate, rolling games on the block, making paper. The game don't stop. You keep it hot, you know it. You moving things in the block, you about to blow it up. The game don't stop. You keep it moving and percolate, rolling games on the block, making paper. The game don't stop. You keep it hot, you know it. You moving things in the block, you about to blow it up.
As in me, you're looking for the LDs. I'm in your vision, hit the block so fresh on these. Hey, keep it flipping through the galaxy. Mad at me, a NO. See, the game is non-stop and keep on dropping it quicker. Make it thicker than usual. Hit the streets and let's flip it. If you bought it, I'm bought it. Let's ride and go get it. I'm all with it. Till I'm down 6 feet in the dirt. But while I'm here, hit the studio, serving the work. Make it hurt for these that don't believe that we floating. Moving slow motion, 20 inches, stay coasting up the block. All the time, boy, you know you ain't fly. Out here hustling for the fame, man, trying to get by. It's do or die in the situation. I'm losing patience in the industry. Struggle, make a statement, ain't no faking with the folk. Got them things in the trunk. Come with 10, 2 for 20, ain't no funny slanging chunks.
The game don't stop. You keep it moving and percolate, rolling games on the block, making paper. The game don't stop. You keep it hot, you know it. You moving things in the block, you about to blow it up. The game don't stop. You keep it moving and percolate, rolling games on the block, making paper. The game don't stop. You keep it hot, you know it. You moving things in the block, you about to blow it up.
I'm a hustler, so I do what hustlers do. And I did it so smooth that the crew never knew. I hit a lick, came up quick, now I'm the ish. Got every in New Orleans on the swamp lick. I got that killer, here take a coup, cause I'm for real. 16 for 55, cause use my and I figure that you don't wanna with me. Go around and feel the blast of this 223. I put it down in the 7 wall, from big bodies to pushing pies. And I'ma stay connected till I die. You see, I'm rooted in the street life. The same nigga that taught me the game. I owe credit to the fame, so hit, take this cream to keep the butter churning and break down some green so we could start to burn. Hell yeah, I'm finessing the block. Cause when this rap is over and done, yo, the game won't stop.
The game don't stop. You keep it moving and percolate, rolling games on the block, making paper. The game don't stop. You keep it hot, you know it. You moving things in the block, you about to blow it up. The game don't stop. You keep it moving and percolate, rolling games on the block, making paper. The game don't stop. You keep it hot, you know it. You moving things in the block, you about to blow it up.
Timecode NOLA. The New Orleans Independent Film Program.
and doing what you like. This is how I rock when I'm feeling right. I step and hypnotize every dang sight. And there's a rumor that my daddy was a Dolomite. Flick it, smack it, rub it, lick it. This is how I roll, baby. Get with it. You're in danger. Watch your behavior. When I lock you in, nothing can save you. Save me, save me. King B is me. I see the world at the bottom. Now run. I know it's not right, but it's all for fun. Won't stop smoking till the weed's done. Talking about honey, yo, I just had one. Get screamed on like what's a picket. See a microphone, rock it, whip it, slay it, spay it, neutered, tutored, reinforced. But that's all for the course. It's like when horse. This is the force that you thought wasn't real. Now ask yourself how you feel. Mr. Rodriguez with a new deal. You saw me one leg up, your man should up. Why you came and danced with me? People not answer me. Stick with it, stick with it. Yeah, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. Stick with it, 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 stick with it. When I roll, stick with it, never forget it. Deeply embedded, cheaply I get it. Drop it, I wet it, deep fried and bread it. If it sound dope, I probably said it. You see me down the block with my big radio, yeah, just start figure out what the girls already know. Time for me and compadre to flow. We blowing up, leaving town with your hoe. Oh no, evil twin and JoJo, turn your whole out. Just like the sound of my tongue, let the puñetas rhythmic tight were like sweaters. You betcha, I get ya, last dollar, you holla. In the back of the club, make me holla, holla, holla. You betcha, I'll get ya, last dollar, you swallow. In the back of the club, make me holla, holla, holla. Stick with it, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. Hey, stick with it, yeah, stick with it. Hey, stick with it, yes. Stick with it, yes.
more information, log on to timecodenola.com.
could you do this to me? How could you hurt me like that?
I guess it's my turn now to take care of you. I know it hasn't been easy for either of us. You're still here, you know, watching. I feel them sometimes, especially Father. They're in us.
So you're a filmmaker, huh? You sit around with your partners talking about you gonna shoot this or I'm gonna shoot that. You ain't shooting shit. You gotta finish the sound bites and I need ADR and my soundtrack music ain't right. You ain't making movies if nobody ain't seeing them. Get the done, you bullshitting. We need your film. Send them in today. Timecode NOLA, you heard me?
Timecode NOLA is supported in part by the Louisiana Division of the Arts Council of New Orleans, Cox Communications, and by people like you.